Good morning. I am Nathan Nagel with Schaefer Homes, and we are doing our April vendor spotlight on site on South River in Edgewater. We are with Scott Bossy of Superior Walls. Thanks for having us out, Scott. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Scott has been with MBIA for 30 plus years
Yep.
with various companies. You have been Builder Mart on the Builder Mart chair committee for 5 years.
That's correct.
Board member and Builder Mart chair for 2 years, right?
Yes.
And Builder Mart also covers Innovation Hall and the ever popular build competition,
Absolutely.
which are all great things. We enjoy all of those. But
That's
today
the
we're
thing
here
here.
to talk about this amazing product that we have. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the product that's sitting behind us?
So I started off building houses back in the 80s with my father. We didn't get along, so I decided I needed to do something else. So I got into materials. So I've been doing building materials since the late 80s. And I've been doing Superior Walls for the last 5 years. I saw this product when it first came out 41 years ago and kind of scratched my head because I didn't kind of understand it. Now that I understand the science behind it, me personally, I wouldn't do anything else. But we're on a perfect example here today because it shows a lot of the things that we can do with a wall system. In this one, you can see the rounded turret, you can see the insulated walls, you can see the studs that are already applied. They're already pre-drilled for wiring, and it's just a simple installation. You do a normal excavation down to the level that the walls should be at. You take it down 8 more inches. You apply a bed of number 8 stone. We come in, we compact it, screed it, get it perfectly flat and level, string our lines, and this foundation here we set in 2 days' time. So it's a very unique product. People say, this is really awesome new technology, but it's been around the inception was 45 years ago, and Weaver Precast is the first franchisee. We started it back 41 years ago in 1985, and here we are today.
So the way I understand it is this product doesn't sit on traditional footers like a block wall or poured concrete wall. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they don't understand that, but the science behind it is if you look at anything in Europe, it was built 2,000 years ago, still standing. A lot of it was built just on dirt, or rubble. You look at a train track that's elevated up out of the ground. I live near one it's over 20 feet in the air, and it is just compacted stone. So the science works. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do this all over the country and in Canada. So you eliminate the need for digging a separate footing, pouring a separate footing, and then you don't have to come back and set wall panels, pour walls, strip wall panels. So it all happens very clean and fast. And for the eco-friendly part of it, we're manufactured off-site in a plant under conditions, and we can manufacture 365 days a year if we needed to, because weather doesn't affect us.
Yeah.
So it makes it really good for wintertime things. The only thing that would affect the install would be, if it's pouring down rain or there's a foot of snow on the ground. But otherwise, we can go, every day of the year.
Excellent. As you can see, for most who don't know, we are at a crucial stage in house building. We are at the waterproofing backfill stage right before framing starts.
Yes.
So this is a part where it gets a little different than our traditional construction. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay, so what happens next on this site?
So the next thing that will happen is the plumbers will come in and prep any groundworks that we're going to go inside of this. And then the basement slab will get poured, and then the first floor deck diaphragm needs to be installed. And once those two things happen, then it goes back to your normal construction. You backfill, and you take the house on up to the roof.
Okay, so the slab and the first deck framing is to hold the walls in.
Correct.
So when you backfill, it doesn't push everything out. And that's a little different than normally. Normally we would come in and we would do groundworks, pour the slab, waterproof, backfill, then frame. Yours is just a little bit reversed.
Correct.
Right? And that's the thought process that holds it together?
Yeah, you need both of them. The slab locks the bottom of the walls from being pushed as you backfill, and the top diaphragm, once you lock all that floor joist system in and the decking, it locks the top of the walls in for the same purpose, to keep it from being pushed in.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of foundation, I saw on the front, which we can't do because of the glare today with the sun, that you had the ledge for the slab already attached and part of the made product.
Yes.
Do you have that for brick ledge as well to go around?
We do, and Chris, I don't know if you can see it, but we have some slab supports here on this back patio area. And what Nate is referring to is we have the same thing on the front for a front porch. So we put those in so that it supports your concrete slab. But if you had brick on this house, we would do the same thing, except it would be continuous at whatever heights, and we can vary it. If you only need a few courses of brick here and you need 10 courses there and it gets deeper and shallower, we can move that brick ledge up and down to wherever you need it.
Okay. And then the insulated studs that we see on the inside of the wall,
Yes.
does that eliminate the need for me to insulate after we're all done with the blanket insulation?
It does. So the code is a R10 continuous. That's the IRC code. So these walls are R11.5. And we also make an upgraded version, which is called a Cool Therm. It doesn't take up any more space. The insulation is just more condensed, and it gives you an R value of 20.75, so almost double the R
Yeah.
value. So the way I tell folks is if you're doing a house that's mostly in the ground does most of your insulating, so you don't need to do that. If you're more than halfway out of the ground and exposed to the air and sun and all those other elements, then I would say think about it's not a lot of difference in cost. In a house like this, it might have added a few $1,000s to change that insulation package.
So one question everyone is going to ask,
Sure.
once you get the ground compacted,
Mm-hmm.
how long to go from compacted ground to full foundation like we see today?
So when we showed up 3 days ago, the stone was in place within 1 inch of level all the way around our foundation footing path. Then we compact it, we screed it, we get it level and flat. Usually take this job probably took 3 or 4 hours to prep, and then we start swinging panels that day. So this whole process was a 2-day operation.
Okay.
On your normal houses, this is a nice custom house, but on I'll say your more generic houses or tract houses, typically we're out by early afternoon in the same day.
Okay, excellent. All right, so outside of the amazing world of concrete and precast foundations, what do you like to do for fun?
I golf a little bit. I'm terrible at it. I do some shooting sports. I've done a little competition pistol shooting. And I'm like everybody else. I chase my grandkids around who are all involved in all kinds of sports and things like that.
Okay.
My own, it was an old winery up in Pennsylvania. There's no longer any winery portion of it, but it's a nice piece of property, so I tinker around. I like playing in the woods, and I've got a few go-karts and ATVs and things like that.
Okay, all right. One question we've been asking everybody on our member spotlight is,
Yeah.
what does MBIA mean to you?
That's a hard one because it means so many different things. For me, it's a sense of building community, because the people that I have met through this over the 30 years plus that I've been in it, I've made some lifelong friends out of it. I've made lots of great building connections out of it. And we all do it for different reasons, but most of us do it because we want to elevate our own businesses, whatever that means to each of us. And through those connections that we make in MBIA, we all end up doing business with each other, or at least that's the goal. And if not, we have people who will connect us with other people. It's a giant network. I can't describe how I would say it, but it's invaluable. You know, in our industry, an association like this is invaluable. And being a board member, so now I'm in tune to a lot of the other things that MBIA does besides the stuff that we do out here in the field. But without the MBIA, the legislative stuff that would have overrun our industry by now has been abated to a certain extent, and that's the main focus, is the advocacy of MBIA at Annapolis, and even nationwide. You know, through the NHAB, or MB, I forget it, cut that out. Through the National Home Builders Association. You know, I think that that's really the key, and by all of us being members and paying our dues and supporting that, we all benefit from that. And everybody benefits differently, but we all definitely benefit from being a member and having that that work being done for us on our behalf in Annapolis.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time today, and I'm really looking forward to working another year together.
Same here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.